just tore it up. This sword is up.
On this day in 1994, in South Africa, Nelson Mandela became the first black president of South Africa. Mandela spent 27 years of his life as a political prisoner of the South African government. He declared that the time for healing of the wounds has come. 2 weeks earlier, more than 22 million South Africans had turned out to cast ballots in the country's first ever multiracial preliminary election. Damn near everybody in South Africa chose Mandela as his African National Congress Party led the country. In 1996, he presided over the enactment of the South African Constitution. Mandela retired from politics in June of '99 at the age of 80. He remained a global advocate for peace and social justice until his death in December of 2013.
I was there when needed someone who wasn't getting over you. When I moved to the side, when I moved, call you mine, and I know what you're feeling. I'ma take you for a ride, let me take it off your mind, cause you know it's a scene.
I want to welcome y'all back to the Bobby Vance Podcast. As you know, we have a question, so let's get to it. That question reads, what's the absolute simplest, most low effort meal I can eat daily that's fairly well rounded? I'm not at all picky. I'm absolutely fine with eating a can of soup and a small salad, just lettuce and dressing every day of the week. But presumably, that's not great for my health. What else can I add to even things out a little? A protein shake or something? I know absolutely nothing about food or nutrition, just that I'm fine with eating the bare minimum, and that soup and salad alone may not be good for my health long term. So viewer, before we get into any of this shit that I have to say, I just want to let everybody know that's planning on taking my advice or thinking about it, that I am not a licensed dietitian, or do I claim to be? You know, I'm also not a licensed professional, a licensed personal trainer. So, you know, everything that I'm about to suggest is basically from my own personal experience, the research that I've done that involves, you know, reading articles, looking at so many different YouTube videos, and then the experience from others that have went through, you know, some of this stuff. So I just want to get that out there, that I'm not licensed. So, you know, if you try to do this shit and it doesn't work, don't come back and say that, you know, I told you it will work. That's not the case. So now that we have that out of the way, this podcast, I'm gonna go into the question, but I'm gonna actually give you my advice, my experience, the stuff that I've researched when it comes to losing weight, different exercises that you can do, and at the end, I'm gonna give you a mixture of cost-friendly meal options. Some of my favorites, some of my wife's, her favorite low cost efficient meals. So hopefully some of these meals can help you guys get into like that healthy habit, try to see some of this weight drop. But to burn fat, you know, you need to create a caloric deficient. And what that means is you have to consume fewer calories than your body expends. So, you know, if you eat more calories than you burn, you're gonna gain weight. So the deal is, so basically if you eat fewer calories, you know, you burn more throughout physical activity. So although working out helps with losing weight, at the same time, you want to put more of your focus on what you're putting in your body. So for example, do you know how many calories it takes to burn a pound of fat? So some of the common advice is, in order to burn fat, you need to have 3,500 more calories than you eat to drop 1 pound of fat. So to achieve this, you want to have like a weekly goal, and that calorie deficient goal needs to be, 500 calories less than what you're already consuming. So you want to have a reasonable weight loss goal. So the most reasonable goal that I can think of that I feel like everybody can kind of strive to is 1 to 2 pounds a week. So for example, adult women may want to aim for a low calorie diet, somewhere between 1,200 calories to 1,800 calories a day. Like I'm gonna say again, I'm gonna say every time I do this, one, you want to check with your doctor, your nutritionist, whoever you go to make sure that your body is able to do these things. I'm only giving you this advice because I've done it myself, where I cut my calories out just so I could lose weight. I've suggested this to a few people, and it worked for them. So before you do this, just make sure that your body is able to do this. So, and like I said, you want to remember that each individual is different. It's essential to consult with a healthcare professional or a registered dietitian to, determine the right calorie intake for, your specific goals. So, I want to keep throwing that in there because, like I said, everything that I'm suggesting is from personal experience. So when it comes to burning fat, you want to have a combination of exercise, high energy exercise where your heart is pumping. And then you want to add some strength training in there to be, to even it out. So I don't know if anybody has heard of HIIT, it's high intensity interval training. So what these workouts consist of is short bursts of intense activity followed by a brief recovery period. So, for example, if you've ever heard of burpees, if you haven't, go look it up. Jump squats, jumping jacks, anything that you do in short periods of time that's going to get that heart rate pumping. You can do strength training, so lifting weights or using resistant bands. Resistant bands, I tell people all the time, they look basic, but resistant bands are money. You want to focus on compound exercises. So compound exercises might consist of squats, deadlifts, bench press. So, keep that in mind, that strength training can also aid to weight loss. I know a lot of you probably do this, and that's cardio workout. So, cardio exercise, it elevates your heart rate. So the same like HIIT workouts, but the difference between cardio workouts and HIIT workouts, like I said, HIIT workouts are short bursts of energy, while cardio workouts are something that you do over an extended period of time. These will elevate your heart rate somewhere between 60 to 90% of your maximum heart rate. So that will help towards losing weight. Also, keep in mind that some of those options can include swimming, riding a bike, running, jump rope. And reader, I know you didn't ask for all of this information, but there's no way I could just give you some basic ass meals without giving you what I call the blueprint behind those basic ass meals. So, if you're gonna eat right and try to do it for less, you might as well throw in some workout. So you're welcome. You have to keep in mind that, you have to do what's comfortable for you, but at the same time, you gotta make the shit challenging. You can't go in there, don't break a sweat, and think that you've done something good today, because you probably didn't do shit. but you want to go in there and challenge yourself. Whether it's a moderate or high intensity, consistency is the key, and pushing yourself is the goal. So keep that in mind. All right. So the question: what low cost efficient meals are out there? So, you want to have a basic template. So some meals can be like whole grain protein, lots of vegetables. So for example, you can have brown rice, grilled chicken, broccoli, beans, guacamole, and a salad with tomatoes. You can have black beans, brown rice, corn in a side salad, barley, beef, or vegetable soup. Have some fruit for snacks on the side, and drink lots of water. I guarantee you can go to any store and buy that stuff and probably not spend anywhere between 35 bucks. And that meal would be able to last you for a whole week. So you could do scrambled eggs with cottage cheese. I don't like cottage cheese, so I would say avocado on a whole grain piece of toast. You could do Greek yogurt with fruit and nuts. You could even get frozen fruit, buy a lot of it, put it in the freezer. Then you won't have to go back to the store and get more fruit. So that's a low cost way of trying to eat healthy, but being able to get more, more bang for your buck, because it allows you to store this fruit. And in my opinion, it's actually cheaper than buying fresh fruit few days after few days. So think about that. Get some crunchy veggies. You can do hummus or peanut butter. Like what I just gave you could be breakfast and or snack. Lunch and dinner, you can get tuna, brown rice, any kind of fish really. Tuna salad with beans, tomatoes, cucumbers, peas. You could do a veggie fruit smoothie. You could put yogurt in it. You could put protein. You could do water. You could do milk, almond milk. You could do any of that. Whatever is low sugar, low fat, you can go that route. A lot of protein. You can buy a rotisserie chicken from one of these grocery stores, and you can have a chicken salad. And then for the vegans and vegetarians out there, you could do tofu. Everything that I had meat listed in there, just substitute it for tofu. So that's something good right there. Now, one of my wife's favorites, she likes to get sweet potatoes. Normally it's probably like bird's eye, but it's a bag of sweet potatoes, or she actually gets a sweet potato herself. Make sure it's diced up. If you get the bag, it's probably diced up, but if you get the one sweet potato, which is actually cheaper than the bag, then you dice those up, you season them, get you some onions, one bell pepper. She normally does brown rice, the 90-second brown rice that you can actually fix once your stuff is done. 1 can of black beans, and you can add chicken if you want. When she started doing this, she was a vegetarian, so it was just sweet potatoes, onions, bell peppers, rice, and black beans. You throw that bad boy in the oven for about 20-25 minutes, put that rice in there, you got you a meal for a couple of days. I suggest getting a Sam's Club or Costco card, any wholesale place, and go and get these items that won't expire in a week or two. And one of my favorites, if you know me, you know that I love wings. If I see buffalo wings, or if I see anything that says wings on that menu, I'm gonna get it. And most of the time the shit is fried. But if you like wings the way that I do and you like them crispy, you can actually put them in the oven. And when I tell you it's about 50 to 60% healthier than the wings that are fried because they're baked, let me know what you think. So it takes about an hour to cook. But to make this happen, you use any type of seasoning you want. Like, that's up to you how you want to season your wings. But at the same time, you want to use baking powder. And you want to use the baking powder that's aluminum free. Because if you don't, it's going to taste like aluminum. It's going to taste bad. So, if you do want to do this, make sure you get the baking powder that's aluminum free. So, you're going to want 2 tablespoons of that. Put them on a rack, set your oven to 425, spray the pan with non-stick spray. You want to make sure your wings are dry. So like paper towel, pat them bad boys down. You want them dry. Combine all your seasoning, if you do salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika, whatever it is, make sure you got the baking soda in there, aluminum free, and you want to evenly toss them around on all the wings. Throw the wings in there. You want them skin side up, and you want the rack in the middle of the oven, and it's gonna go on for an hour. So every 20 minutes, you want to go in and check and flip them over. If you do try it, save me some of those wings. Look, I know this was probably a short show. Just know that the only way to lead is to learn how to follow. Peace. I want to thank y'all for tuning in.
Damn it, Bobby.
Wake up in the morning,